Shalom, shalom. Gotta fix this YouTube. Slacking. Shalom, shalom. Slacking, let me. Shalom, shalom. Let's see. Shalom to the brothers and sisters that's on the YouTube channel. Lord willing, this is edifying lesson. You see the title of this lesson. The title of this lesson is reflecting on how blessed we are. We have to be grateful for what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has done for us. So, we're going to get into some history, some old history points. And again, Lord willing, this is edifying. We're going to start in a few seconds. Again, like I said, Lord willing, this is edifying to the sheep. Got to be grateful that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua brought you from a dead estate into the truth. Now, if you're not in this truth or in this walk, to even believe, you have to be a student first. You have to learn the actual doctrine before you say that this is not the truth. You have to be a student. In anything in life, you have to be a student. So before we start, I want to give our praises to the one true power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of this earth. In the same spirit, Lord willing, as a whole, that y'all all continue in sound doctrine. And shalom to the Aquaf, the sisters of his faith and his truth. Lord willing, that you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. The Lord willing, Yahweh Shemashai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. And again, shalom to the brothers and sisters on the YouTube and the brothers and sisters that's on the TikTok live. So the first precept we're going to bring out, before we bring it out, I'm going to read this point I got in my notes. It says, reflect on how blessed you are. This lesson is for the elect of Israel that actually want to learn, and get closer to the Lord. Getting closer to the Lord is not jumping around, getting goosebumps. It's learning. It's literally learning and meditating on the things that he have done and what he's going to do. Okay. So remembering past deliverance, because if you don't remember past deliverance, how you think you're going to get delivered on this side? Recognizing the presence, mercy, anticipating future glory. And truly, when you in this thing, coming in this truth is mercy itself. Okay, getting these breakdowns, understanding the parables, this is mercy. Okay, so one of the greatest weaknesses of Israel, of the Israelites, both ancient and modern time, is forgetfulness. We forget, like where they say, you forget where you came, nigga. A lot of us forget where we came from. A lot of y'all forget what angle or what position you was in before you came in the truth. Even without the truth, a lot of y'all really don't even know where you came from, literally. Shalom, shalom to the brothers and sisters hopping on the live. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatham. When we forget what Yahweh Shema Shai has already done for us, we lose faith in what he is about to do. But the scriptures repeatedly command us to remember. Michael Jackson said it best. Remember, do you remember the time? To consider, to meditate, and to bless his name, because his works for the Israelites is not finished. It's not finished. Still more work to be done. So this lesson, Lord willing, will help the elect stay grateful, grounded, and encouraged. Okay. So the first point we're going to deal with is Israel must remember the works of Yahweh. Okay. Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shai Brakatah. So remember the deliverance of Egypt. This is the foundation of Israel's national identity, because that great deliverance out of Babylon, the place of confusion, haven't came to pass. So let's deal with the classic. We're going to go to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. The point is verse 8, but we're going to start at verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? We have to, where people say, oh, they think they better. It's not that we think. We believe what Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai said. He claimed this to Moses, that we are above all people on the earth. Ain't shit changed. Only thing that changed is that we became into a dead estate. Now, some of you Israelites have woken up. Now, some of y'all just woke up just by knowing you a Hebrew Israelite, and that's it. You know the feast days. You don't know the doctrine. A lot of brothers are saying brotherhood over the doctrine. You bugged out, because you would not know about brotherhood without the doctrine. Okay? So again, we're above all people on the earth. Yahweh did not set his love upon you nor choose you because you were more in number than any people. For we were the fewest of all people, but because Yahweh loved us, and the love that he has for us is an action. 1 John chapter 3, verse 18. Little children don't love in word or tongue, but love in deed and truth, which is an action. The truth is Yahweh Shai, the truth is the word. But because he would keep the oath which he have sworn unto your fathers. So this oath, covenant, everlasting covenant that was established and spoken to our forefathers, he's going to fulfill in us. Okay. No other nations can be joined into this beautiful oath that the Lord made with the Israelites. He hath sworn unto our fathers, and Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. One statement, everybody want to say, oh, it was some Egyptians that was with him too. But guess what? They all got destroyed, right? Because wickedness brewed in Israel, being in the wilderness, fleeing from Egypt, complaining. Okay. But Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is redeeming Israel. Okay. Verse 9, know therefore that Yahweh thy power is the Elohim, the faithful power, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him. So vice versa. He loved us, but he's only keeping a covenant to those that love him. Only the elect truly love the Lord and keep his commandments, which commandments is simultaneously laws, statutes, and commandments to 1,000 generations. So that means the elect, the remnant in this time, is loving the Lord, faith in the Lord, and keeping his law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. You got to evaluate yourself. Is that me? Do you wake up with Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai in your mind? Do you hold yourself do you hold yourself to accountability? Do you take correction when need be? Are you looking for breakdowns? Is you watching lessons? Right? And especially as a man, I know brothers, I ain't saying brother's name, but brothers be watching. If you slacking on lessons, you haven't did a lesson in 3 days, haven't did a lesson in a week, you don't give a damn about the sheep. So if you don't give a damn about the sheep, that shows how you care about yourself. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5. It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves, right? You got to test your own self. Know ye not your own selves, how Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except you be reprobates, right? In the NLT, it says you have to examine to see if you have genuine faith, okay? The brother Yeremiah put 1 Corinthians 11:28, but let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup, man. And literally, the elect is going to drink of this cup on this side, okay? Going to drink of this cup. Now, you 2/3, how you moving, you going to drink of your cup too, and then I know it's nasty. You know, a lot of y'all really think that this truth is a game. You know, everything outside this truth is a distraction, and anyone that's getting distracted or comfortable, you're going to show your true colors if you're consumed by the shit. In the NLT, 2 Corinthians 13:5, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahushua HaMashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. How is HaMashiach among you? The Rakak Wadash. Matthew 8:20, right? If two or more are gathered in my name, I am there in the midst. Just us doing these lives, right? You brothers is having a council with other brothers. Yahushua is in the midst, man. Yahushua is in the midst. Do you believe? A lot of y'all don't truly believe that Yahweh sees everything. Some of y'all think, oh, he can't see me. When I go in my house, he don't see me no more. But you bugged out if you don't believe that Yahweh Shai is seeing everything, right? So let me get this precept before it leaves my mind, because I'm on a blue letter. I don't want my computer to freeze for those that's on YouTube. But we go into the book of Sirach, the 41st chapter. No, the 42nd chapter, starting at verse 18. Shalom, shalom, Yahweh Shemashai Barakatah. Sirach, chapter 42, verse 18, it says, he seeketh out the deep and the heart and considereth their craftiness. For Yahweh Shemashai knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world. He declareth the things that are past and for to come, and revealeth steps of hidden things. No thought escapeth him, neither any word is hidden from him. He have garnished the excellent words of his wisdom, and he is from everlasting to everlasting. Unto him may nothing be added, neither can he be diminished, and he have no need of any counselor. Right? So no thought escape Yahweh Shemashai. So whatever you're thinking in your mind right now, he knows it. Right? I ain't gonna lie. To me, that is scary, bro. That's totally scary. Like, the one thing that I can admit for myself, my skin been breaking out crazy, right? And man, I usually got baby skin. And the first thing I notice is the Lord plaguing me. Now, regardless, I don't need, hey, Lord, are you plaguing me? I just know my skin is always clear. You know, skin pigment changing colors. I look at it, the Lord plaguing, chastising me. So what do? For me to notice this, I'm always thinking on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. I want to read one more precept, and then I'm going to read, put olive oil in the bath. Okay. Hey, them women, they hear you. They hear you, bro. They hear you. Okay. Even though it be hard, it's going to be hard because they'll be like, go do this, and I'll be stubborn. This Isaiah 40 verse 22, it says, it is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. Right? Just like how we walk on the earth and you look down and you see ants on the ground, is the same to Yahweh. We look like grasshoppers, man. The Lord is always looking at his creation, man. It's Shalom or Shalom, Terrence Terrell, 9433. Just saying. I'm going to read the brothers Kakama's precept, Psalms 39, verse 7 to 10. This is Psalms 139, verse 7. It says, whether shall I go from thy spirit, or whether shall I flee from thy presence? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there, which is this condition, brothers, is in. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. The same when the northern kingdom was on their way to Ashereth, right? Another land, right? Which is really, America, the Western Hemisphere. The Lord guided them. Yahweh B'Shem Shai is always there, always there. And this is the fear that when Yahweh Shai said, don't fear what man can do to you, but fear him that can kill both body and soul. Yahweh Shai has the keys of hell and death. So whatever you going through, Yahweh B'Shem Shai has the power to deliver it or to uplift it. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's go to the 5th chapter, verse 15. Now, this is the difference between church or, any organization that's trying to educate you. This is not no feel good. This is not, this is a good lesson and I go do the Harlem Shake. It's about being edified. Edify means to build up. So if you're paying attention, if the title of this lesson is going into, we must reflect on the blessings, reflecting on how blessed we are. We have to be grateful. So you have to take account of each precept that's aligning with us doing what we said in the beginning of this lesson. Remembering the past deliverance, you got to be grateful for that. Recognizing the present mercies, you got to recognize that. In the anticipating future. How many people in here you just put a 1, a 7, and either live? Who is anxious to see the kingdom? There's a lot of men and women on these lives, out these lives, that still want America to float. Jake, you was not meant to be at the bottom, be the tail. You was meant to be exalted. Why? Look, I'm going to say this. I'm saying this real quick. Jake, why do you like being fly? Why do you like jewelry? Why do you like the best things of life? Because you have a royalty mindset. Brothers putting grills in their mouth, that's that Solomon spirit. Women always being bedazzled, looking fresh and fly. That is an ancient spirit. Go get a real bloodthirsty Edomite. I put a video on TikTok where me and the brothers was driving after camp, and you seen this Edomite girl sitting outside with a nice outfit, and her shoes looked dusted. Let me see if I got this picture, man. Jake, you have a royalty mindset, man. It's on that phone, so I might have to go to TikTok to see if I can find it. You have a royalty, Salaki. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, it's right here. Look at them things, man. Jake, you have a royalty mindset, man. What is that? That's an ancient spirit in you, man. Wait, his name is Yahweh, you mean? Deuteronomy 5 and 15. It says, and remember that thou was a servant in the land of Egypt, and that Yahweh thy power brought thee out thence through a mighty hand and by a stretched out arm. Therefore, Yahweh thy power commanded thee to keep the Sabbath. Now, I know a lot of people are like, how can you prove that you're an Israelite? By prophecies. That number one is by prophecy and by faith, because our spirit bear witness that we're the people. The Lord don't say nowhere in the scriptures, go get a DNA test. When you look in prophecy and then you look at the people that are the true Israelites, and we understand history, not Yeshua. Yeshua is definitely not it. It's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Hamashiach. When you understand history, like if you read this book, I don't know why I got all this stuff over here. When you read this book right here, actually both of these books, let me turn on the camera for the YouTube stream real quick so that y'all can see it too. Let me not be selfish. Let me not be selfish. I see you, YouTubers. Okay, nope, that's not a good setup. Okay, right here. These two books right here is by the same author. Okay, Rudolph R. Windsor, Babylon the Timbuktu. This man will give you plain details. Of course, first the Southern Kingdom, mostly a lot of times he speak about. But if you understand the history of the 12 tribes, the Black, Latino, Hispanic, and Native Americans are the true Israelites. Before the Europeans got in power, we were known by nations and tribes. Then you get this book by Rudolph Windsor, Going into the Valley of the Dry Bones, and it gives you a lot of American history on how did they did this, how they consumed and took, our identity and planted another identity on us. Really, going in another detail of Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, let alone when you understand Revelations, the 11th chapter, verse 8, being in a dead estate. The valley, when you look at Psalms 23, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He lead me through the valley of the shadow of death. America is the valley of the shadow of death because Jake is in a dead estate. Okay, where are the dry bones? What other nation is comparing themselves to being an Israelite? Of course, we know Esau, but I'm saying being honest. What nation is doing it? Because it's not one time an Edomite was teaching the word, especially when we talk about the Juju Holocaust. When did any one of them go on the highways and byways for them to know that they was Jews? Let's think about it. Nobody went into the highways and byways during the time where they had their Holocaust. Not one freaking person. Nobody was bringing out prophecies or parables. But in the scriptures, we understand even John the Revelator was going to have to go back and prophesy again, which is Revelations, the 10th chapter. When did any one of these nations go to the highways and byways and teach the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Okay, so this is another reason why it's very important to grow and understand what Yahweh Shem Yahushua has done as a student. Okay, so let me get this screen back up. I just had to show that on YouTube. So now let's go to this next precept I have. We're going to go to Psalms 105. And the moderators, you do your thing, man. You focus over here on the lesson. So y'all hold it down in the comment section. If it's some shabba dabba ding dong. This is Psalms 105. We're going to start at 5. It says, remember his marvelous works that he hath done, his wonders and his judgments of his mouth. O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. Where is the other nations, Genesis, that are chosen? Because in order to get this salvation, you had to be chosen, right? Let's not add in a word, because there's no verse going to the Gentiles about salvation. Natural born Gentile. Where is the verse where it naturally say Gentiles will be saved? And especially with context pointing and directing that those are the natural born Gentiles. Okay. It says, he is Yahweh our power. His judgments are in all the earth. Right? He have remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. So Yahweh Shema Shai remembered what he's going to do, right? Which covenant he made with Abraham and his oath unto Isaac. This is history. And conform the same unto Jacob for a law. Who's the laws given to? Psalms 147, verse 19 and 20. Only Israelites. And to Israel for an everlasting covenant. We're about to really fully be established in that. Saying unto thee, will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance? Jake, when you go out of town and you like, I feel homesick. Jake is homesick. The elect is homesick, man. Right? The brother Shem Yawala, Shalom Yahweh Shai Brakatah. This lesson is inspired by a lesson this brother did. Hold on, y'all. Let me look it up real quick. And if you got time, I think you should go watch this brother's lesson. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get it. Okay. Salaki, y'all. So like I gotta show you this lesson, because this was inspired by it. There we go, right here. For those that's on the YouTube, let me make the screen smaller for you guys. So go on this brother's channel. The title of the lesson is "Be Grateful." Right. This is a beautiful lesson, and just going into the history, which on this live that I'm doing, we're going into certain history points of what Yahweh Shem Yahushai said that he would do for the children of Israel, let alone when we look at the terror Yahweh Shem Yahushai put us through for us to get to where we at right now, towards the coming of Yahushai. It's all righteous and just, which we see in the book of the three holy children, the prayer of Azariah, from verse 4 down. He said he was righteous and just for what he done unto us. Okay, so to continue, Psalms 105 verse 9, it says, which covenant he made with Abraham in his oath unto Isaac, and to confirm the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant, saying, unto thee will I give the land of Canaan, the lot of your inheritance. Right? And this is part of what the children of Israel, part of their inheritance is that land. It says, when they were but a few men in number, very few, and strangers in it, when they went from one nation to another, from one kingdom to another people, he suffered no man to do them wrong. He reproved kings for their sake. The book of Daniel, where Ezra, Hananiah, and Mishael, you can see multiple examples, right? Nations had to rethink themselves when the way they was dealing with Israel. Look at the Philistine when they took the Ark of the Covenant. They got hit with plagues, boils, and then the Lord, smite Dagon, half mermaid man, barnacle man. The Lord was always working on behalf of the Israelites. Now, in this world that we in this modern time, the Lord said he's going to visit the earth in storms, earthquakes, fire, thunder. And guess what? It been thundering. It been floods, tornadoes, massacres, like death, salaki, people being unalive, four corners of the earth. Yahweh Shem Yahushai is showing forth his hand, right? Yeah. All praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So now let's go to this next point. So the Israelites is commanded to look back at the mighty acts Yahweh Shem Yahushai performed to create us as a nation. If he could destroy Egypt, refuse armies, split seas, feed millions, and break nations, then nothing he promised for the future is impossible. But we know what Yahushua said, with the Lord, it is possible, but with man, it's impossible. So remember his mercy in the wilderness. Israel failed often, yet Yahweh stayed with them. Now, it's a point I want to get to just because of that point right there. Deuteronomy, the 29th chapter. On my physical, I probably will find it way faster. Let me make sure I'm at the right spot. Where we at? Okay, I found it. So let's go to this point real quick. Yes, we'll start at verse 1. This is Deuteronomy 29 verse 1. In the blue letter at the top, it says the covenant in Moab. It says, these are the words of the covenant which Yahweh commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel in the land of Moab. Beside the covenant which he made with them in Horeb, Moses called unto all Israel and said unto them, ye have seen all that Yahweh did before your eyes in the land of Egypt unto Pharaoh and unto all his servants and unto all his land. The great temptation which thy eyes have seen, the signs and those great miracles. It's men and women on this side that don't believe that the Heavenly Father and the Son did miracles. They don't even think the prophets did miracles. Okay? But they did. Okay? Yahweh have not given you a heart to perceive, and eyes to see, and ears to hear unto this day. What did Elisha do for his servant? He turned and called Yahweh by Shem Yahushai to allow his servant to be able to see. Okay? Because a lot of us can't see. A lot of y'all can't really see that, oh man, I am a Hebrew Israelite. Why you think even the heathen can't see it? You got some individuals But the whole world is in a sleeper state. They don't know the people that are truly in captive. They don't know the people that they're working with, that they're around 24/7, right? And I have led you 40 years in the wilderness. Your clothes are not waxing old upon you, and thy shoes is not waxing old upon thy foot. Ye have not eaten bread, neither have ye drunk wine or strong drink, that ye might know that I am Yahweh your power. Now, the main point is the Lord had us walking in 40 years in the wilderness, and our clothes did not wax old, man. That's fire. And these are the thoughts you want to put in your pocket and be like, yo, if Jacob trouble come, Lord willing, he can make me still smell good, clothes still good. Because if he did that for them, history gonna have to repeat itself. He's gonna do miraculous things for the elect on this side. Let's go to the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah, the 9th chapter, starting at verse 16. This is why it's beautiful to go in the whole Bible, the Old, the Apocrypha, the New Testament. Is beautiful, right? You find hidden gems. This is Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 16. It says, but they and our fathers dealt proudly and hardened their neck and hardened not to thy commandments and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them. That same spirit back then is the same spirit that's right here, right now. But hardened their necks, in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a power ready to pardon, to forgive, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and great kindness, and forsookest them not. Yeah, when they had made them a molten calf and said, this is our power that brought thee up out of Egypt, and had wrote great provocations. You got Jake saying a damn calf that they eat. You put barbecue and hot sauce on it, that it delivered you out of it. Where is the precept where we see a calf taking us out? That just comes from the idols that they seen and heard in Egypt. Okay? Yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of the cloud departed not from them by day, and led them in the way, neither the pillar of the fire by night, to show them light in the way wherein they should go. Thou also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheldeth not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. Now, the manna was symbolic to Yahushua, the bread that actually came down, that became flesh. Then the water, when Moses struck that rock, was symbolic to Yahushua. Everything leads us to Yahushua. Us in the time we in now, we're able to see the scriptures and put them in the right place. Like when you're doing a puzzle, I like puzzles. When you put the puzzle piece, they got to go in the correct spot that they have to go. They have to fit correctly. Okay. So when it comes to certain lessons, you have to get the pieces to put them together to make it a complete puzzle. And this is beautiful to know. Okay. This is all leading us to Yahushua. Verse 21, it says, 40 years didst thou sustain them in the wilderness, so that they lacked nothing. Their clothes waxed not old, and their feet swelled not. Right? This is why, brothers and even sisters, those that are of the faith, are begging, crying unto the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua. You see what these nations is doing. Like I said in another live on YouTube, Esau got people coming out of retirement because they can't live off of retirement. 70 up, down, got to go back to work. And if you want to make millions, you got to most likely do some strange things for a piece of change. Brother said at camp yesterday that, Bobby Valentino's, I don't know if anybody know him, but Bobby Valentino was one of them where he said he'd been all over the world. He laid with so many different women, he getting tired. So now he wanted to experiment. He told a damn security guard, he said, yo, you see how beautiful the woman is? He said, yeah. He said, those is not women. They was Transformers. I'm the Optimus Prime. You get more money, you buy all these sport cars, eventually you get tired. This is all this world has to give you, but Yahweh Shema Shai has something that's beyond all of this. I heard it's Jake that it's a Jake that asked back then when I think I was on Clubhouse said, do you think we gonna ever get bored in the kingdom? What mindset do you have? Like the brother Yeremia said in another live, brothers are speaking about will it be video games in the kingdom, or another Jake on the live said, when we get in the kingdom, the one thing I will miss is the video game. That's a spirit of somebody that left Egypt and said, I miss the onions. When you get in the kingdom, you ain't gonna be thinking about no dang video game. You a video game yourself. You haven't seen true colors. White not gonna even be white. The color is gonna be beyond that. Yeah, carnal minded. A lot of y'all don't have that spiritual mind. That's why the Lord said, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. You think when Yahweh Shai been gone for those 2 days, our time, 2,000 years, you think he was ever bored? Even though in the spirit world, he's not doing the things that he could do on the earth. Because when he come down is where he's drinking wine. He's not drinking wine up there. Okay? Jake, you never left this planet. You never searched the depths of the ocean. You never traveled to unknown lands. And even a land that you went through that already been found, you never went to hidden lands. The Lord is going to expand this earth. Okay? Jake, your mind is so much in a box because you've been a slave for so damn long. Yeah, they love what Esau give them. You know? People lost their life over monopoly money. Literally. The brother Yeremia put 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4. This is what it reads. It says, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. Right? Don't be a Jada Pinkett. What is you entangled with? Why are you trying to be in an entanglement with this life? Okay, in the NLT, soldiers do not get tied up in the affairs of civilian life, for they cannot please the officer who enlisted them. For you women that's married to a man of the Lord or attractive to a man of the Lord, his fun, yeah, it might be let's go to a park, let's get something to eat. Doing all that extravagant things, most cases, most of us men are born, if you want to say on this side. But it's for your best interest, because the more you do those things, we haven't went on a vacation in so long. This side is bullshit. Then when you get done doing that, you got to get that money back over again. The money you spent for that vacation, you got to double back and get that again. Half of us is not rich, because if you was rich, who was to say you would be in this truth? You know? A real soldier. I believe I'm a soldier for the Lord. I believe because I have a thought of doing a lesson when I wake up. If I don't do a lesson, I meditate on what lesson I'm going to bring out. Or I'm talking shit to myself like, man, you did lessons all these days just because you didn't do a lesson today, man. Yo, goodbye, you're getting comfortable. I got to diss myself, because when you a soldier, I know Yeremia, he fully been developing it. Even in boot camp or in juvie, they wake your ass up at a certain time. I've been to jail. They wake you up at a certain damn time to eat, a certain time to get off your dang bunk. In the military, if you don't get up, that you either dropping down doing push-ups, or you're gonna make the whole joint run, do miles, man. So for the Lord, you can't be tied up in the affairs of this world, man. Your life has to be simple, so you can have the most time to work for the Lord. Like the elder Ya'amawan Gabar in New York, GMS, he said, don't waste the time you have right now. You know, a lot of y'all get on TikTok and think you're doing something, but nobody is getting into to edify. It's always a debate. You ask them a question about 2nd Esdras 12, who that going, I didn't read that book. Then why the hell you up here trying to go back and forth and you don't even know who this is talking about? What is you doing on your time off? Okay. The brother Yeremia put Proverbs 11:4. He said, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Right? And this is why it's so good to read. It's so good to watch lessons, because brothers be going into different points. Getting this truth is that spiritual riches. Okay? Just because the brother said it, I gotta get it. Matthew the 6th chapter. Like brothers is, don't you know you're putting investments in your heavenly bank account? Y'all really don't know about. I got 6 figures in the bank. How much you got in the spirit world? How much you got with your how about Shemashai? I don't know. If you ain't putting no money in there, man, you tricking yourself. As it starting at verse 19. Matthew 6 and 19, it says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doeth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. In this same statement, your actions have to show if you're laying up treasures in heaven. This is not saying don't have a job, right? Because we know in 1 Timothy 6, it says, be content with godliness. Be content with food and clothing. All that other extra stuff we doing is a human nature, or what America showed you in slavery or right after slavery. Don't you know Jake wasn't really pursuing riches? They was trying to be free from the being oppressed by Edomites. They wanted to have a wife and children. They wanted to live. Soon as Jake was able to get a job, get some money, now they can make music. A lot of that stuff started to deteriorate. Okay, now they know how to get you. You know how many times where Jake wanted to be a celebrity, then he left his wife and his children behind instead of taking them on the road with him. And eventually, as a man, you're going to be attracted to women, and then you lose sight of that woman. You lose sight of that other woman. Guess what? We're supposed to be leading our women and our children to the kingdom, not leaving them behind. But this is what captivity does to us. We're laying treasure that moth and rust doeth corrupt. But a lot of y'all haven't thought past your horizon. Okay? The brother Jeremiah is putting another precept, Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. Let me just put this on the screen for y'all. Ecclesiastes 7 and 7. It says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and the gift destroyeth the heart. If you understand the history of the Israelites in 14 different captivities, this is how your oppressors, try to give you a gift. But when you look back, you a damn subject, you're a servant. Oh, you know what? I can make you a Satorian. And you don't even know that you're a child of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Just like Cornelius, he was working for them, but he believed in Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Cornelius is not a heathen. He's an Israelite. He was given the Rakak Wadash. Only Israelites can get that. Brothers want to attack. You bugged out. You should really try to sit and be quiet and understand how brothers came up with that understanding. You can't just hop in the New Testament and think things just changed. Only thing changed is that Israel was in that predicament of their name being removed from them. And the best way to see that is in the time of the Greek captivity, the title word, Hellenization. But if you never read the Maccabees, why is you arguing with a man that did read Maccabees on Gentiles and Jews? That means you should be stop, drop, and roll, and go read these books. Because right now, this is not time to play. How can you really understand the miracles and the wonders the Lord have done? Right? These are things you want to investigate, like literally. Let me go to this right here, Psalm 78, verse 38. Because I was in a lot of people's shoes where I didn't like studying. I didn't like reading. I like being a class clown. I want to be in women's faces. I want to look fly. Man, my mind was in the damn gutter. But when you start studying, you be like, wait, hold on. Wait a second. And then you start analyzing church. They not teaching you nothing. But even if I'm saying they not teaching you nothing, if you come listen to brothers, that's teaching, we got to make sure that we're set apart from what the hell they doing. Okay? I'm not doing this for money. I mean, spiritual money, whatever that's going to be. Um, I'm doing this because I believe my purpose was to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and serve the servants. You guys are servants. Even if a brother is calling himself a prophet, an apostle, evangelist, he's a servant of servants. A minister is a servant. To minister is not something to play, take it lightly. Every time you do a lesson, pour your heart out. Be serious about it. Okay? So Psalm 78, verse 38, it says, but he being full of compassion and forgave their iniquities and destroyed them not, yet many a time turned he his anger away and did not stir up all his wrath. For he remembered that they were but flesh and wind that passeth away and cometh not again. The Lord knew that we was flesh. That's why you start getting the teaching of the spirit, the Rakak Wadash. When brothers speak about the law, oh, you speaking about the flesh, brother. No, the law was something that was given to you to be set apart from the earth, for you to know what you can do and what you can't do. But being in the spirit allows you to be more connected to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai instead of you living by law, shaking a hand on Jake, and then you don't got the spirit of Yahweh Shai in you. You know, to have the spirit of Yahweh Shai, you're gonna know the predicament you in. We in captivity. Some cases, you talk about mixed fabric. I'm gonna teach it, and I'm gonna, try to do my best to not have mixed fabric, but it's gonna be hard. Your blanket, you got clothes on that got cotton, but your blanket got two different fabrics on it. It's hard out here for an Israelite. But by the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you're going to know the predicament you're in. We're going to call on the Lord. Please come and deliver us quickly. You have a repenting heart because of the state that you're in. We're going to read Daniel, the 9th chapter, but let me get my brother's precept first. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 5. So we're going back to 2 Timothy, 2nd chapter. So 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5, it says, if a man also strive in masteries, yet is he not crowned, except he strive lawfully. And that's the whole point on this side. While Esau is still ruling, you want to strive lawfully. Right? Hold on. Your Ramya is on to something. Let me see something. Because we know Sirach 4 and 28, strive for the truth until death. Right? So let me see if this is the word that I want. Let's see. Yes, this is it. This is the Greek word for strive. Aphleo. The biblical usage for the word strive is to engage in a contest, contend in public games. 1 Corinthians 4:9. A spectacle. That's a public show. Contend for a prize. What is the prize? Yahweh Shai, to endure, to suffer. That's what we striving to endure. Yahweh Shai to suffer. We're going to suffer in order to get that kingdom. But it said contend for a prize. I told you the brother Yeremia is on to something. So what is it? Is it Philippians 3 verse 14? Philippians chapter 3 verse 14, it says, I press towards them. Wait, let me start at 13. Let me not be disrespectful. Brethren, I count not myself to apprehend, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind. Everything you left to come in this truth, you leaving it behind like Lot and his daughters. I can't say his wife because his wife, she looked back. You leaving the attitude. Hey, when we come in this truth, we still got a certain temper. We got to work on it. You got to be able to discipline your soul. We ain't got to always, don't be in a fighting spirit, because the Lord might test you and give you the right one. We have to fight with the sword that we got, like how in the world we're gullible. Some men, mostly women, coming in this truth. When you getting a brother in this thing, we know in Sirach 6, you got to prove a friend before you credit him. Examine him. Like the brother at camp, Sam, he was telling brothers, man, I be watching y'all. So if brothers they slacking, I'm watching, I'm seeing. It's a brother that left, GMS Buffalo, Niagara Falls to go to South Carolina. and he's in GMS Carolina. I forgot which one, North or South Carolina. What they do is in their camp is if you ain't performing lessons, but if you is performing lessons, they check your lesson, and if you're not meeting the quota, you're gonna be either suspended or removed because they don't play. The Lord signed us up for a job, right? This is not no gimmick, no dancing, no none of that. It's all about edifying the sheep so we can get the hell up out of here, right? So again, I count myself to apprehend, but there's one thing, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth unto those things which are before. I press towards the mark for the prize, for the high calling of the Most High in Hamashiach Yahushai. The prize is towards Yahushai. The prize is in Yahushai. Revelation 22:12, Yahushai said he's going to come with that reward. Okay. Make sure. Okay. Shalom, shalom. The brother put Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 22. Okay. Ephesians 4:22. And this is what it reads. It says, that ye put off concerning the former conversation, the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. This is why first speaking about you men, our behaviors change, our mindset. We're not attracted to the same things we used to be when it comes to certain things in the world. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have fun, you don't do certain things, but I know I do certain things that's fun, and I'm still thinking about a scripture. Somebody say something, I see something, I'm pulling out my phone, I got to do a lesson on it. Sometimes I'm doing something, my spirit is not there, but I'm there. I don't even want to do this. And I'm thinking of the Lord the whole time. The men of the Lord are not of this world, man. Literally, if you are a true believer, truly growing, starting with you men, you're not of here. You're not. What they say, I'm not from here. Through the Spirit, the men of the Lord is not from here, man. They're not earthly anymore, right? The brother put 1 Peter 3:15. It says, but sanctify, which is purify, cleanse Yahweh Shema Shai power in your hearts. So we have to cleanse Yahweh Shema Shai in our heart. How do you do that? The word, learning. It's not, let me get one script. Oh, yes, I got it. You got to learn. Clean yourself. You know, when you're in the bathroom and you stink, you get in the soap, you wash it. So how do you clean yourself? You in this flesh, how do you clean yourself? You getting understanding. You getting that oil. Be ready always to give an answer to every man that asks of you a reason of the hope that is in you with meekness and fear. This is why we always reading, right? Because sometimes we do a lesson. I be hoping somebody asks me a question because it's gonna make the lesson edifying. Like Pastor Gabar said, he says, sometimes if you can have a lesson within a lesson. This lesson is about reflecting on how blessed we are and to be grateful on what Yahweh Shema Shai has done. And somebody might ask a question, somebody might bring out a certain precept, it might drift to somewhere else, but it's a lesson within a lesson, always edifying. No, I'm not. We already been did that, but it's certain things we're gonna bring out that I am gonna speak on Genesis, but Genesis is old news. You know, every lesson we do is for the elect of Israel. That's another thing. That's another thing for brothers on here, and for you sisters that's watching. And examine when somebody teaching, is they teaching for the masses or they teaching for the elect? The 2/3 is going to hear this if they want it or if they want to or not. The world, the other nations, first speaking about the elites, they're going to see this regardless, whoever they is. But truly, the men of the Lord through the Ruach HaKodesh is truly only teaching the elect. Those that are going to get beamed up, those that are going to get the salvation. This is who these lessons truly is for. If we speak about the nations getting judgment, it's just going out there. They're being marked. That's it. They're not going to get the record. Oh, yes, I'm about to get destroyed. No, none of that. Only the elect is going to really hit them. Okay? Yep, the Zechariah 13:8 and 9. The brother said, do you agree on what Genesis? But no, I don't. Let alone, I don't even agree with having a hat on. I don't agree with when you doing a lesson, you promote all your businesses and wearing a hat. I don't agree with that. I don't. You know, all to only teach to debate or lure people into debating for money, all that other stuff. No, you could tell I don't agree because I don't charge anybody to bring out the word. I don't charge nobody to ask a question. Right? We agree with the scriptures. Exactly what that brother said. Y'all lucky I can't pin that on the damn screen. Wait. I can pin that right on the screen, man. We agree with the scriptures, book, chapter, verse. That's a beautiful statement. Okay. So when you reflect on your shortcomings, remember Yahweh Shema Shai's patience with Israel. He has shown mercy we did not earn. That alone is reason for continual gratitude. Literally, we didn't earn this mercy. What is it? Please let me get it before he do. Is it is it nope, it's not that one. Right, let me check. Let me get this before this brother do. It might be 2 Timothy. I'm gonna get that precept too, brother. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. It might be, let me get it before he do 1 and 9. I think this is it. Baba Kasha. Yes. Baba Kasha. I'm going to read this in the KJV and the NLT just because of the statement that we just made. So this is 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 9 of KJV. Who have saved us and called us with an holy calling. This is a holy calling. This is why when you out here teaching, you saying you in the truth, your reflection should be seeming different from this world. Let alone when brothers saying we're not like these other brothers in other congregation. How we teach, how we move should show that we're different. Okay? Because this is a holy calling, a set apart calling. Not according to our works, but according to his own purpose and grace, which was given us in Hamashiach Yahushai before the world began. So this calling was in Yahushai before the world began. In the NLT, for the Most High saved us and called us to live a holy life. He did this not because we deserve it, but because that was his plan from the beginning before time. Salaki, y'all. It was talking about cutting alive. It says, but because that was his plan from before the beginning of time, to show us his grace through Hamashiach Yahushai. So we don't deserve this, man. You don't deserve salvation. We're filthy rags. But when you come in this truth, you got to be grateful and take it serious. Because if you don't, what the Lord going to do? Ecclesiastes, the last chapter, verse 14. He's going to reveal the secret things, good or bad. Why you think people, whatever people is doing in their household is getting exposed? What brothers is doing it behind congregations being exposed. But I'm doing this debating for money. It gets exposed. The Lord is doing that. And brothers is not alone like, yo, Yahweh, Shem Yahushai. There's a lot of people that make mistakes on teaching, right? And this is a point that I'm going to say about Genesis, right? One thing Gorilla said, and I understand when I watch Great Millstone, if a brother make a mistake, they correct themselves in that live or they do another video. If these brothers for all those years was teaching that salvation was only for Israelites, and they're now saying salvation is for all nations, especially if the heathens, are sorry and repent. And if you teaching it that way, why didn't brothers try to say, yo, I was wrong all those years, so this is the correct understanding? Salaki, you got to think, all them people they charge for that breakdown. Varsity, Sakari Varsity, how they was charging people for that breakdown. When you take back some sneakers and not the right size, or something happened, or a toy that get broke, you get your refund. Why nobody getting a refund from them teaching this all those years, man? We supposed to take accountability, because anybody teaching something that's false, incorrectly, you're gonna be judged strictly. Yeah, a hireling cares not for the sheep. Right? Let me not be disrespectful. Let me get this brother's precept real quick. First Peter's chapter 2 and verse 9. First Peter's 2 and 9. It says, because you got to think, when Paul corrected Peter of how he was acting, he chilling with the Gentiles. As soon as he see the circumcision, oh, I'm not with them. Peter rebuked his ass. Do we see another account of Peter doing that again? First Peter chapter 2 and 9. It says, but ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, going back to what it says in Deuteronomy, that ye should show forth the praises of him who have called you out of darkness into his marvelous light. This is his marvelous light. Yeah, he took the correction. That is a full fact, man. And there's a lot of y'all, when you hear, oh, y'all brothers about to make 15 videos, but then you sit back, is you going to take the correction? That should show you, when they say, I'm looking at the fruits of the spirit. That's how we look at the fruits of the spirit. Do you take correction? How do you take rebuke? You know, the fruits of the spirit on how you teach him, you know, especially if you make them, if you slip the tongue, do you correct that? Do you fix that? How do you care for the sheep? The sheep get wounded. Is you about to go get bandages to wrap up the messed up leg? Is you going to be surgical with it? Or you can be like, oh, it's okay. That person going to heal. No, man, you got to care for the sheep, especially when you pick up the mantle. I'm a teacher. I'm a leader. The brother Yeremiah put Proverbs 13 and 1. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. Come on, man. Just like what happened at Yeremiah's camp. I've seen it. Some people can't handle the truth, but then they want to mix it up and start speaking about Epstein. What the hell Epstein got to do with the lesson? Right? So this Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 that the brother dropped. It says, the fruit of the spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, and faith, meekness, and temperance. Against such there is no law. Let's get the meat off of the bone. Even in the NLT, but the Ruach HaKodesh produces this kind of fruit in our lives: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. And that's another thing, Jake. We gotta have patience when it comes to sheep. I remember Mata Zabik was speaking this. You know, it might be somebody that want to learn. They keep asking multiple questions. Guess what? It helps to edify the sheep, and it allows other sheep that's watching to see your discernment with the sheep, because you got to know it's other people coming in this faith watching you, and we got to have the fruits of the spirit. So if somebody asking multiple questions and you got time to answer, what do you want to do? Answer those questions. And it could be somebody that's not asking a question and you answered that question, they going to get relief like, dang, he just answered that question. I was thinking about that the other day. We got to have patience with Jake. But again, the people are going to show their true colors, man. Okay. So the next point we going into, we going to keep going until we done with this. Remember what he has done in our captivity. We sinned, yet he preserved us. Some of these verses, especially in the Apocrypha, I'm going to get, for the YouTube, I'm going to get this behind the scene because of the screen might freeze. So let's go to the book of Daniel, the 9th chapter, starting at verse 11. So again, remember what he has done in our captivity. We sinned, yet he preserved us. Okay? Yes, it is. Yep. Hey, the sister is right. You are correct. And that's what a watchman is supposed to do. A watchman is supposed to correct. A watchman is supposed to tell you that the sword is coming. Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yet all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore, the curse is poured upon us in the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. He have confirmed his words which he spake against us and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil, for under the whole heaven have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. So what happened to the children of Israel, no nation is compared to us. Okay. Yeah, it's a fact. And anybody, what the brother just said, we're gonna pin that too on the screen. Take it how you want. Okay. Now, sidebar, if you want to ask a question, you just say, "Can I ask a question?" All the other stuff, we can keep that. You can keep that in the bag. Ezekiel 33, what the brother want, I believe verse 34 is what he wanted. Wait, you didn't say 30. You said Ezekiel 33, 34. No, ain't no 34. You mean 33? If you saying Ezekiel 33, 33 verse 33, it says, and when it cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them. I think this is the verse the brother's speaking about. Yerumya said, yeah, Khan. Yep. Yerumya, he put the classic, which lines up with 2 Esdras chapter 1, verse 5. He put Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. This is a classic precept. It say, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, show my people their transgressions, and in the house of Jacob their sins. This is who we mainly out here for. The highways and byways, doing the YouTube lives, sit downs, TikTok lives, we're out here for the children of Israel. Mainly speaking to the elect. Literally. Don't care how you feel. I'm not out here for every nation. But we tell judgment of what's going to happen to the other nations and what's going to happen to the 2/3. But we're literally teaching this word to seal the elect. I can't seal you. Yahweh Hashem Yahushai has to seal. I'm planting the seed, watering the seed, and then we're moving on to the next lesson. And if those sheep that's listening, they're going to either come on the YouTube channel every time a video pops up or a live, or on TikTok, the same sheep. It might be some new ones, but if you ain't showing the spirit of being a student to become a believer, I'm not dealing with you, right? Because to become a believer, you have to be a student first. How can you believe on something if you wasn't taught? Okay, this is why the Christianity thing is a whole bunch of bullshit, because you're only just taught about Jesus, but you're not hearing the whole conclusion. You have to understand Yahushua is spoken about, his attributes, the things of sacrifice is a foreshadow of him. If you can't see Yahushua in the old or in the Apocrypha or in the new, in all different examples, you are not a student. Okay? Before we move on to the next precept I got, the brother Yerumya put St. John, the 10th chapter, verse 27. St. John, the 10th chapter, I love this chapter. I love this chapter right here. St. John 10, verse 27, it says, my sheep hear my voice. What is the voice? It's the prophets bringing forth the doctrine. The doctrine is the voice. The prophets are the mouthpiece. Hebrews 1 and 1. Hebrews 1, verse 1 and 2. And I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them everlasting life, and they shall never perish. Neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand. You are in the hands of Yahushai. My Father, which gave them me, is greater than all. No man is able to pluck them out of my Father's hand. Because in order to be in Yahushua's hand, they had to be in Yahweh's hand. And those that are in Yahweh's hand is the elect. That's why when you see brothers doing videos, just know, oh, that brother right there, he's only for the elect. Yes, you dang right. I'm not out here for every Israelite that's doing the heel toe. I'm out here for the elect. The elect want this kingdom to be destroyed. You know? I really want to get out of here. Literally. So for those that's on the YouTube, just bear with me. let me just put my face on the screen for right now because I'm about to read these verses in the back. So this is the book of Baruch, a classic chapter. If you never read this chapter, I think you should start at verse 1. Baruch chapter 2, starting at verse 30. We're going to read to 35. It says, "For I knew that they would not hear me because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivity they shall remember themselves." Truly, only the elect is going to remember themselves. Okay? It says, "And they shall praise me in the land of their captivity." Only the elect is going to do this and think upon my name. They're not going to think about many names. They're going to think about his name, right? First, they're going to get the understanding on the true name. They'll be like, yo, man, his name Yahweh. Oh, he exists, he to be. Yahweh Shai, he saves, he delivers. Oh, man, there's power in that name. Okay? "In return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before Yahweh B'Shem Shai." Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Baruch is in the time of the Babylonian Empire. So, and we're all the way in this time. He said, so if they think upon his name, they said, "For they shall remember the way of their fathers." How you going to remember the ways of your father if you're not studying, if you're not reading? Make that make sense. You have to be going into Genesis all the way to 2nd Maccabees to understand what the heck is going on. Then, when we deal with all these other nations, first you got to think about who got delivered out of Egypt. All nations didn't get delivered out of Egypt. So we can't put Edomites into that. Then when you deal with the Babylonians, the Persians, the Medes, why were the other nations conquered? They were just conquered. But why was the Israelites conquered? We read that in Daniel, the 9th chapter, because we have committed a sin. That makes it different from the other nations, right? Verse 34, "And I will bring them again into their land." Wait, Salaki, "I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they shall be lords of it." So the Israelites is going back to the land that was given unto them, which is the land of Canaan, right? And we're going to be rulers, lords over it. Why is Jake worried about what the other nation is going to get? They're going to be in servitude. That's what you need to figure out. But Jake, the world was made for your sake. You were supposed to rule this earth, right? First speaking about you men, right? Which is going to be gods on the earth. It says, "And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them." Right? We're never going into captivity ever again. Never, ever, ever. So while you in this so-called captivity, are you thinking of getting the hell up out of here? And your actions should show. Right? Like the brother said, and the apostles say this, brothers just said it. Get your daily bread and stay out the way. Right? Put your mind always stayed on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's the main attraction you should be having your mind on, man. Right? Because if you don't got control of yourself on this side, you're going to get too comfortable. Let that charagma come. You're going to end up, what hand do you want? You can put it in my forehead. Right? Keep your mind on the Lord. The brother Kakama put the classic, Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. "In the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all the kingdoms, and it shall stand forever." I want that. What they say, give me my money, and I want it now. Give me the kingdom, man. That's what I want. You know, I ask my children, TJ,
Yeah.
do you want the kingdom, man?
Yeah.
Man, come on, man, say it louder, man.
Yes, I want the kingdom.
Say it again.
Yes, I want the kingdom.
Why you want the kingdom?
So I can be in the Lord's holy place.
Wait, say it again.
So I can be in the Lord's holy place.
Say, man, get over here. Say that again. Why you want the kingdom? That just makes me so happy to hear somebody say that, man. Especially the children. Why you want the kingdom, man?
So I can be in the Lord's happy place.
Oh my goodness, yo, man. When the children say that, you got to think their imagination is way different. When you think of the kingdom, just give me real quick. What's one thing you think of when you think of the kingdom, man?
Powers.
Wait, what?
Powers.
What?
Powers.
Why you think of powers, man?
Because we can't do this. We can't do that down here because we got weaker flesh.
We got weaker what?
Weaker flesh.
Come on, man. Man, we fucked up, man. Excuse me, man. Like, what is your mind stayed on, man? What desire do you have? Now, give me your second desire.
Being with the Lord and drinking wine with him.
Wait, say that again. This is a young child. What the heck he talking about wine? But go ahead, let me hear it.
Being with the Lord and drinking wine with him.
Drinking wine with who?
Yahweh.
Yeah, you gonna be drinking wine with Yahweh Shai. That is a man. How is a child? This man don't even know what he's talking about. He said drinking wine with Yahweh Shai. Come on, drinking some yan. Y'all really don't even. Where is your mind at? This is my motivation to hear a child speak about. I want to be with the Lord. I want to be drinking wine with Yahweh Shai. That's how I know this is an ancient spirit right in front of me. This little man ain't. He not here. You know, he's an ancient soul. A lot of you grown-ups, you think traveling, going to all these other places is better than that, keeping your mind on the kingdom, man. Only thing this side give you is a Happy Meal and a few toys. You good. So Micah chapter 2, verse 10, it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with the sword destruction." This is not speaking, let me get on the boat, let me go to Africa and depart. No. Revelations 18:4, come out of her, my people, so you don't take no part of her plagues. Later on in that chapter, it speaks about Babylon being destroyed in 60 minutes. How are you going to get delivered? You're going to get translated. You're going to get a strange salvation like Enoch, like Elijah, like Yahweh Shai. Why do you think those is in the scriptures? Because that's the same way Yahweh Shai is going to return, in the same way you can get the hell up out of here. Well, I'm just saying, before you remove that, Yeremia, that is a beautiful thing that sister said. I just told my brother that I don't care about traveling or nothing in this world. Hey, excuse me. Can I get some tea, please? Hurry up on the double. Just playing. Let me get some tea. But that's a beautiful thing. Right? Beautiful thing. But like the brother said, hey, give her the name, bro. Give her the name. Ask her what the name is. You know, and anybody watching this, the brothers in the comment section is, brothers of sound doctrine, fully persuaded brothers that I will slice swords with. Anything that they saying outside of what I'm bringing out, make sure you paying attention to the comment section, because brothers is bringing out precepts and they saying certain things, not to offend anybody. It's just brothers don't like living in a lie. They want people to actually know the truth and what's going on. So if you is on this live and you watching, listen to what I'm saying. And when brothers is writing comments, they're not doing that to distract you. They're not speaking shabba dabba ding dong. They're trying to make sure that you leave with information so that you can change your conversation or how you speaking or how you talking. So I'm only just saying that so you can know that these brothers is moderators. Some of them might not be, but those brothers are in sound doctrine. Okay. So beautiful precept to the brother Yeremia. Let's get Limitations, the 3rd chapter, starting at verse 22. So this Limitations chapter 3, verse 22, it says, "It is Yahweh's mercy that we are not consumed, because of his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." So his mercy is new every morning, man. The number one thing is that you get to breathe again. What if the Lord made let you not wake up the next day? Mercy. For you to think about praying and you saying his name, mercy. You even having the name of the Lord, it's mercy. How about Shema Shai is amazing, man. Let's go to this and we go to the next point. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, starting at verse 8. Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 8 and 9. And it reads, it says, "And it came to pass, while they were slaying them and was left, that I fell upon my face and cried and said, Ah, Yahweh Bashim El Shai power, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel in thy pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Then said he unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah, the northern and southern kingdom, is exceeding great. That's why when you go to the Amos 9-8, the Lord is watching the sinful kingdom. First, that is speaking about Israel, because we're the ones that transgress the law. But in another aspect, as a twofold, that is speaking about Babylon. The Lord is watching Babylon. Babylon is the high or mighty hill on the earth. Exceeding great is exceeding great. And the land is full of blood, and the city is full of perverseness. For they say, Yahweh have forsaken the earth, and Yahweh seeth not. A lot of men and women believe the Lord don't see them. A lot of people say, oh, the Lord don't care about us. He's not watching us. A lot of you Jakes on earth really think the Lord don't see you. But you gonna say, if the Lord just showed me a finger, if he just fly in front of me right now, then I believe in him. Truly, if we was to be truly honest, this is how we know the Lord wouldn't do that, because the Lord knows your heart, that you would deliberately say, I'm gonna only believe if I see this. Just like Thomas said, but that was different. He was a disciple. Even if the Lord flew right in front of you, a lot of y'all still wouldn't believe. Some Edomite and some black dude said this one day. He said, the black people are easy to believe in demons, but when it comes to somebody saying they seen an angel, they seen a chariot, they be like, man, no, you bugging. That was an airplane. But as soon as you say something about a demon, they'll believe that. You know? So at the end of the day, a lot of y'all don't even believe in the spiritual world. When somebody tell you spirits is going up to the Father, oh, I don't believe in that. And that's really you being consumed and being in a dead state for that 350 plus years. This truth wasn't being taught. And that's just the same spirit that Jake had in the Rome captivity, the Greek captivity, the Persian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Egyptian captivity, the Hamite oppressing you, the Ammonites, the Moabites oppressing you. Jake been diluted. You know, when you have liquor and it get mad water in it, you have been diluted. Okay? The number one thing is on this earth, which everything try to take you away from, is learning. Let me get this brother's precept before we continue on. So Matthew, the 10th chapter, verse 29. Oh, no, you good, King. So Matthew chapter 10, verse 29, and we're going to read to, let me see where the brother, he said to 32. It says, are not two sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear ye not, therefore, ye are more value than any sparrows. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. Some of y'all truly think you confessing the Son of God by saying Jesus. You're only confessing Jesus. And it just shows you haven't, the Lord haven't really tapped you into actually having this truth, because you really confess the Son of God by his true name. You have to learn and understand the things that you are written were written before this time, before English was pushed. So when you read in the New Testament, you have to understand that most of these really all of them, was speaking in the Paleo ancient tongue of Hebrew. Okay. But even in the same time, the popular language was around Greek, and the Romans, majority of Romans spoke Latin. So it was no English. But the time frame, 1455, is when the Wycliffe Bible was the first Bible printed on the Winsberg printing press. Eventually, English became a popular language. For you to study is for you to understand that certain words in the New Testament, which is Greek, you have to get the homology of it. Going into the Old Testament, which is translated from Hebrew, certain words that's in that English is not going to have the same meaning in Hebrew. So you're going to have to get the etymology of that. as a student, when you were in school, you can't say, oh, no, brother, we ain't got to do that. Then why in the hell, when you in school, you study the way you do in school? You look up definitions. You going all deep in the script. You going all deep in your textbook. It's the same that goes with the scriptures, but on another level. Okay? So I just wanted to say, if you confessing Yahweh Shai to man, you want to say Yahweh Shai. Okay? It says, but whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven. First, I'm speaking about you OT onlys. You deny Yahweh Shai, the Lord is not supping with you. You're a background character, so you better fix that. Okay? Beautiful precept. So going to this next point, y'all. Even under curses, Israel has been preserved from extinction. That is amazing. We still here. And what do Esau try to do? Put drugs in your hood, and they trying to destroy Jake by drugs. But we still here. Israel has been preserved from extinction. Yahweh allowed us to awaken in the last days. This awakening itself is proof we are blessed. To see brothers on YouTube teaching is a whole nother level. Okay? When, like, I don't know, every brother got different stories, but when I heard this truth, I had a spiritual anger. Like, these mofos was lying to me this whole time. Why all the time I was looking in the mirror and I was thinking that it was something special about me. And my foster mom used to say, you ain't gonna be shit. None of, she was saying all this other stuff to me, and I was really believing it. But I used to look at myself, it's something special about me, and I did not know. Going to church all these dang times and wasn't taught nothing. Then when you try to ask questions, they didn't want you to ask questions. They just, as soon as you ask questions, the Lord not dealing with you. And now I'm hearing brothers explain scriptures, line up precepts, and you're like, yo, I was lied to this whole time. You know? This truth took a whole veil off of me, man. So this Matthew chapter 10, which I'm so thankful he did that, man. Because brothers was in a dead state, man. If you can't admit it, I'm going to admit it. I was in a dead state. I know I was. I was looking like a zombie. Okay? This is, the brother wanted me to read St. Matthew, the 10th chapter, verse 33 to 35 in the NLT. It says, but everyone who denies me here on earth, will also deny before I will also deny before my Father in heaven. Don't imagine that I came to bring peace on peace to the earth. I came not to bring peace, but a sword. I come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Your enemies will be right in your own household, right? Because really, when you understand, the 2/3 is going to have it the worst on this side. Because again, what we just said, a man against his father. When you look at that in the aspect of the 2/3, it's going to get real. Now, say if you in the truth, you living with your mom and your dad and them, and they not in this truth, your enemies will be right in your own household. And I know a brother that's living in, you know, he's younger. He's living with his family, but he's in this truth. So if he's still there when all hell break loose, man, just imagine the spirits that brother, but that's just a trial. If you are of the elect, you're going to overcome that. Again, for anybody that's on here, man, I hope you striving not to be a 2/3, man. Because a 2/3 is somebody that's lazy. A 2/3 is somebody that is consumed in this world. Oh, well, to me, and I'm not dissing a woman, I'm just saying in general, a woman that put a lace front over Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. I'm just being honest. And what I mean by a woman putting a lace front over is like when brothers start speaking, like what the brothers be doing when women just be speaking, like just openly in the comment section, and they get on you and they're like, oh man, a woman's supposed to be silent in church. If you was really putting the Lord over what you have, you would be paying attention to these lessons and understand the role of women. When I go look and see how many people is on the live, It's certain women that I'm always seeing on the lives that don't say nothing. That don't say nothing. I'm just being honest. The woman 1076, I'm just putting her out in the open. Don't really say shit on the lives. She be on your Rumya's live. She be on the elders live. She don't say nothing. Okay? This is not to boast. I'm just saying it as an example. You know, if when you watching these lessons, are you really learning? Both of my wives is on the live. They on both of them. Don't mean that they better, but not one time you hear them say shit. Even if I tell them, hey, what's the name of the Lord? No, I can't. No, ask the children. They still want to be in order. What that mean there? That shows that person is learning. Your Rumya, when he do a live, he'll see the same people come back and they might say, Yahuwah, brother, I just broke down the name of you the other day. That shows you're not learning and it shows you're not accepting. We do not do this for entertainment. We do this to edify you. And you're supposed to take it. The stuff that we gave you, you could screenshot it if brothers is doing it on their phone and then go re-look at it again. Oh, I'm about to go do my own research. You might not research the same way. You're going to inbox that brother after and say, hey, what website you went to? You just going to do it on your own. You're like, oh, when I went on the internet and looked for Yahweh, it gave me Yahweh. Let me read this comment right. Oh, no, the brother just said 100. Okay. So let me just swipe down and make sure I didn't miss anybody say anything. Khan, my woman don't say shit either. See, that's a fact. Right? It's not boasting. It's just using it as an example. It's not saying a lot of you women is terrible, but though this is how you know you learn it. Have you ever sat back and just said, why I only see me and another woman talking, but I look over here, I can see about 7 women on this live. Why are they not talking? Because they understand and know it's a time to talk and a time to shut up. The words is coming out, but those are for you to learn and take it. I'm not a woman, I'm a man. And it's things I have to take and I have to learn. That just shows, are you coming here to learn? And every day you're supposed to be showing that fruit. Okay. Beautiful point to the brother. Yep. Let me get that. And then we're going to continue on to the point that we're at. So Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 29. Ephesians, the 4th chapter, verse 29 for the brother. This is what it reads. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. It says, let not corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. Right? And what is edifying? Let's get the Greek word for edifying. G3619. This is a Greek word. Okay. Hold on, the computer is. Akodime. The biblical usage for the word edifying is the act of building up. So we're building men and women up on the understanding of the Lord. It's different ways. Now, when we just dealing with a breakdown, salvation, we're going to build you up on what salvation is and what it's for. We're going to even give you the word for salvation, which is deliverance. If we're dealing with the topic of man and women, we're going to edify you on the role of man and woman. When we edify you on husband and wife, we're going to edify you on the role of a husband and the role of a wife. We're going to, hey, if we want to talk about polygyny, we're going to edify those on polygyny. Polygyny is for the men. This is not for you, women. This is for the man. But for those women that believe in this word, you want to hear it too. I'm like, oh, it's for the man. Oh, shoot, I'm going to have to yield to it. And if you yield to it, hey, you yield to it. That means you believe in the volume of the book. But if you bump against it, you got to reevaluate yourself. Then it's just going to show you don't believe. But at the end of the day, it's not being forced. This is just talking about teaching. When it comes to destruction, we're going to build you up on what destruction is, what it looks like, who is going to be destroyed. Is it going to be people remaining? or all people are going to be destroyed except for the elect. We're going to have to break that down as a puzzle and get precepts. If it goes into, if we're doing a lesson on parables, we're going to build you up on the parable. 10 talents, 10 pounds, which is simultaneously the same thing. If we want to go into Matthew, the 22nd chapter, the wedding, or Matthew, the 25th chapter, we're going to break those things down. The Canaanite woman or the Samaritan woman, which one is an Israelite? We're going to get precepts, we're going to get history, and we're going to align those things up so that you can be building on it. That's what being edified is. Okay, if I'm bringing out a precept in Romans and I'm doing a lesson, I should be edifying, building you up on that verse, Jew or Greek. I should be going into history points, different points in the scriptures to show you and give you the right understanding of why is it saying neither Jew, neither Greek, neither male or female. You have to be edified, build it up on the right understanding so you can take it and be like, dang, this is what it really means. Okay, this is how you be edified. A metaphor for edifying or edification is the act of building or building up. That's all edifying is. So if you're not getting builded up, then somebody is not teaching you. The brother put the classic Isaiah 28:10. That is the classic. Precept mean law, but it's a law to keep the precept upon precept, because the Lord made the scriptures a puzzle, because this is amazing. Why did he make it a puzzle? Let me get this before the brother Yeremiah. I know him. He is trigger finger, brother. I'm telling you he is. Motherfuckers don't be sincere or have patience. They just want it now, and that's a sign of the truth. Yeah, that's a fact. An elder said this. He said, in order to be baptized, it takes time. I hope y'all understand that. To be baptized, it takes time. To be dipped in water, you just dipped in water. But to be truly baptized, it takes time. Because you got to deal with this lesson, that lesson, that lesson, and it's multiple precepts in each lesson. So with this lesson, you're being baptized on this one lesson. If another point come out for a different topic, you're going to be baptized in that lesson. Then tomorrow come, you baptize in that lesson. Then the next day come, then you're baptized in that lesson, whatever that lesson is, man. So Psalms 25:14, it says, the secret of Yahweh is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. So the secrets is in the prophecies, the dark sayings, the parables, even in the law and in wisdom. So only those that truly fear the Lord, which means you have a reverence, a respect for Yahweh Shem Shai, and you're terrified of him. It's a lot of people that might be on this live, off this live, that don't respect Yahweh Shem Shai or terrified of him. Literally. Until something happened to you, then somehow, I almost lost my life. Oh, man, I got to get right with the Lord. Some of y'all, you got to go through a traumatic deficit or a tragic something in your life in order to be terrified of the Lord. You should be terrified of the Lord just in general. I believe in the power, and I can't even see him. But I know I can see his creations. There's so many things on this earth that let you know Yahweh Shem Shai is real. One thing that sticks out, you breathe air and can't see it. What if the Lord just did something and just the airflow just changed? Yahweh Shem Shai is the only one. The only one, man. Let me get this, and then we're going to continue on with this lesson. Proverbs, the 9th chapter, verse 10. Oh, that's some strong tea right there. Proverbs 9:10, it says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the holy is understanding. So fearing the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. Sirach 1:14. It's in the womb of those that are faithful. The faithful in the womb, you're born with this fear. Now, of course, some of us wasn't in the truth when we, when we came in this world. But guess what? It was meant for you to come in this truth. Just like Paul. He was going off, but he was meant to come in this truth. Okay, got you. He said he'll go live. Yeremiah said he's going to go live on the YouTube channel right after. So definitely tune in. Okay, let's make this. Let me see how many more points we got. Okay, we'll make this quick then. I think we got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 more points, and then we're gonna end it. So the next point, we just gonna go right into it. It says, reflect on his gift of the Son, Yahweh Shai. The greatest blessing of all is Yahweh Shai. So let's make this quick. Let's make the brother flow. And I'm gonna, Lord willing, do another lesson on YouTube, a regular lesson. Okay, con. So this Isaiah chapter 53, verse 5, it says, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Now, when I'm reading this, I'm not putting the other nations a part of this. So while we read these precepts, think of you and your people. The black, which is the Africans, the African Americans, the Jamaicans and the Haitians, the Latino, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Yahweh Shai was wounded for our sins, our transgressions, what we did. Not only this time, but every generation, all the way from Genesis, all the way to now, all the way from now, from back then, all of that is put on Yahweh Shai. And he took that. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and Yahweh have led on him the iniquity of us all. So all your bullshit is on Yahweh Shai. When you go to Baruch 4:28, it says it was our mind to go astray. Now that we return, seek him 10 times more. In the GNT, it says seek him with determination. You have to be determined to get it. Right? You have to have a delight. Oh, the word coming out. Oh, you got to have a delight. What Yahweh Shai did for us is the top example of love. He put his life on the line. So let's go to the classic, which everybody likes to butcher, but we're gonna make sure we're edified on this. St. John, the 3rd chapter, starting at 16, but I'll go up a little more so we can expound on that. Okay. When you go from verse 1 in John chapter 3, this is Yahweh Shai speaking to a ruler of the Jews, Nicodemus. Even in that time, it's no verse where an Israelite said by name, can the other nation get salvation? It's nowhere. Okay, so you have to understand, Nicodemus, he started to understand that Yahweh Shai is that guy. Okay, so he's speaking to Yahweh Shai about the people, right? Okay, Romans 12 and 11, boiling the spirit. Okay, I got you. St. John chapter 3, I'll start at 14. It says, and as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. You just got to go back into the Old Testament to understand. If this was saying Moses was lifted up, oh, why is it not saying clearly, if we know Moses with the Israelites, but why is it not clearly just showing that the Son of Man, Yahweh Shai, was with the Israelites? But Yahweh Shai is speaking to a ruler of the Jews, right? So I'm going to just give you precepts to line up with John 3 and 14. And when you go read those points, you go tell me, do you find the other nations by name in those verses? Numbers chapter 21, verse 7 and 19. 2 Kings chapter 18, verse 4, still speaking of Moses. Psalms 22:16, for the dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me, they pierced my hands and my feet. It's directed to Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's it. Now, verse 15, it says that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. The whosoever is speaking about, because we know that Yahweh Shai is speaking to Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. So whosoever of the Jews, because Yahweh Shai first went to the Jews. He didn't go to the northern kingdom yet. So he went to the Jews. When they're talking about Gentiles, especially directly in that time, he's speaking about Gentile southern kingdom. Even though it was some northern kingdom too, but directly, when we go to Zechariah 12 and 7, salvation first is for the Jews, because that's Yahweh Shai had to go to them first. Okay, the northern kingdom fell off. 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. Okay, even though the southern kingdom went off too, but you still had the circumcision of the southern kingdom. So the whosoever is speaking about the Jews that believe. Okay, for the Most High so love the world. What world is we speaking about? The world that Yahushua is speaking about is Israel, right? Before I continue in that, for the YouTube, I'm gonna just read this so we don't change the screen. You gotta get the puzzle piece. The puzzle piece have to fit. So let's go to Hebrews, the first chapter. This is Hebrews chapter 1 in verse 1. It says, the Most High, who at sundry times in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets, having these last days spoken unto us by his sons, whom he have appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the worlds. If you have good comprehension, you need to understand the Chinaman has his own world. The Japanese got their own world. The Hamites got their own world. The Egyptians got their own world, right? The Edomites got their own world. The Assyrians got their own world. Syrians, Syrians, they got their own world. The Israelites got their own world. Those as a collective are worlds. If it's a multitude of people of different nations, and I'm not trying to be like in a parable, I'm just being straightforward. The Lord made a multitude of nations. We're going to say 18 nations. 18 nations, all of them are worlds. The first one is a world. The second, all the way to 18, they are all individually a world. So in St. John 3, he is speaking about world, cosmos, government. Isaiah 11, the government sits on Yahweh's shoulder. That is first speaking about the 144,000 apostle prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So St. John 3:16 again, for the Most High so loved the world of Israel that he gave his only begotten son to who? And this is how you know he gave Yahushai to the world of Israel. What nation did Yahushai come out of? What tribe is he? The Israelites from the tribe of Judah. That should make it plain for you. He gave Yahushai to him. That whosoever, who's the whosoever? Those that Yahushua is speaking about is the Jews. Believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life. So first, how can Yahushua first speak about the other tribes if he first was presented to the southern kingdom? So the whosoever first is the southern kingdom at that time. We're in this modern time. So when we read this now, we're going to, for edification, we're going to say the southern kingdom. But later on, all these scriptures is for all Israel. Because as a collective, Yahushua said in St. Matthew 15:24, he was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All the 12 tribes is lost because they fulfill Revelations 11:8, being in a dead estate from the neck up. All Israel, let alone 1 Thessalonians 2:3. Yahushua was telling Paul that it was going to be a falling away. So Paul had to teach the Thessalonians it was going to be a falling away before the coming of Yahushua. Then the Son of Man had to be the son of perdition had to be revealed. And then we're going to continue on this point. Why do you think when John the Revelator and the other men were speaking in code when it came to the beast, speaking about Rome, speaking about the little horn, why did they speak in code? Why do they call it a great city? Why they call it a whore? They're speaking in code because it wasn't time for Esau to be revealed. You don't see Paul and them saying Edomite fully, Esau, you Edomites, because at that time it was only about teaching the gospel to the Gentiles. The falling away was at the time when Rome fell. Then it was no more prophets and teachers after John the Revelator to later fulfill what was said in St. Revelations 10, verse 11, that John the Revelator was going to prophesy again. And then Revelations 11, verse 8, all the way to 11 had to be fulfilled. Now the breath of life came in the time frame of 1969. Now, the whole 12 tribes that are oppressed together are able to teach this word. Let's actually get that. The brother dropped the precept. And I just had to speak on that so you can understand. YouTube, y'all can see me. We're going to keep that on the board. No, we actually, did we read it? Okay, no, we'll come back to it. The brother put Revelations 20 and 2. Let's get this real quick. Revelations chapter 20, verse 2. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent. Is it saying literally? Because we know Esau wasn't established yet, but it's saying it's the spirit, because that serpent was Esau through the spirit, just the same as Cain was Esau through the spirit. Through the spirit he was, right? So again, he laid hold on the dragon. The dragon is synonymous with the same point, which is in Revelation 12. That dragon is speaking about Rome. Simultaneously, that old serpent, which is the devil, Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So who's the devil? The manipulator, deceiver, and liar that is manifested in the flesh would be the nation of Edom. And we would know he's a deceiver by the things that pertain in the scriptures that fulfill. The number one thing that sticks out, what nation made an image of the Son of the Most High? What nation made an image of the 12 judges? The disciples in these movies. That's the one that would be the devil, which would be the YT man, the Edomite. And why he was in bond, the left-hand side, even though the left-hand side was still dealing on the earth, this same dragon could not deceive the earth anymore because he was bound, right? What verse is that? So 1,000 years. Oh yeah, verse 3. That 1,000 years is in the time when Rome fell. It says, and that's what we call the dark ages. It says, and cast him into the bottomless pit. Bottomless is speaking about Europe. It didn't produce minerals. Pit is land. That is 2nd Ezra, the 5th chapter, verse 24. Go read it. 2nd Ezra chapter 5, verse 24. And shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So Esau could not deceive the nations no more because he was consumed in a lower state. He was basically in a form of a hell condition, dwelling in caves. Till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loose a little season. We're in that little season. When the Renaissance, the rebirth of Rome got established through the Borgia family, that was the start of their season. Right now, while America is in fruition, because it's flowing, this is their little season. Their little season is about to fall. America only been established for 249 years. Next year, July 4th, America has been established for 250 years. Oh, I don't believe you. Go in your calculator, if anybody can do it. Go in your calculator, type in 2026, subtract 1776. Whatever you get, put it in the comment section. What is that? 2026, subtract 1776. Let's see what y'all get. The brother put Ecclesiastes 4:14. It says, for out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. Oh man, come on, if that don't hit you. If that don't hit you, man. Oh man, he came out his prison to reign. That's what Esau did. Oh man, that is crazy. That is so crazy, bro. Oh man, that's crazy. Going back to St. John 3:17, that was a beautiful precept. It says, for the Most High sent not his son into the world, right? The world of Israel, to condemn the world. That what world is that? The same world that was spoken in verse 16. He's not condemning the world of Israel because what? But the world through him might be saved. So through Yahushai, the world is going to be saved, starting with the elect, and then through the loins of the elect later on, the 2/3, those that be destroyed on this side, will come back through the loins of the elect men. Okay? Now, the brother wanted me to go back to that Ecclesiastes 14 and read 15. So I'll read Ecclesiastes 4, 14, and 15. It says, "For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun, all the living, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. And there is no end of all the people. Even so, all that have been before them, they also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this is also vanity and vexation of the spirit." Come on, man. So there's no end of the Edomites, or not one nation that the Lord have created. You want me to go back up to 13? We can read it again. Verse 13, "Better is a poor and wise child than an old foolish king," which Esau will fulfill that. Okay. "Who will no more be admonished, for out of prison he cometh to reign." And we looked at when Esau came out of that his damn hell, or being, locked in his bottomless pit, he came out to reign for a little season, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. Which Jake, even if Jake is rich, he's a rich slave. We don't really have wealth on this side, because Jake, you don't really own land. What Jake has his own government. I'll wait. I consider all, and we're talking about, man, never mind. That's for another moment. "I consider all the living which walk under the sun, with the second child that shall stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of the spirit." And this is Solomon speaking, man. Vanity and vexation of the spirit. Beautiful point. I might end up doing a lesson on that. I don't know. I might end up doing a lesson on that. So let's get to this one real quick, and then we can go to the next point. So this is Acts, the 5th chapter, starting at verse 30 and reading 31. Yeah. Going into Genesis, the 25th chapter. And we didn't get into that yet. Oh, sidebar, Genesis, why you didn't bring that out? Hold on, wait a second. Edom might say can't rule with us. They got to be servants under the young man. We'll wait. Acts chapter 5, verse 30. "The Most High of our fathers raised up Yahushua, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. Him have the Most High exalted with his right hand to be a prince and a savior, for to give repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins." Where's the verse for the other nations? But for you, Jake, you have that room for repentance. 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, it tells you that a lot of y'all, the Lord gave you liberty, to repent, and you loathed his laws. You didn't care about it. Right now, we're in a time of that grace period. You should be using it. A lot of y'all are not using it. A lot of y'all are just so freaking comfortable, man. Again, what Yahushua did for us, it should be a different pep in your step. Shalom to the Aquad that is on the live. It should be a different pep in your step. So the elect of Israel are blessed because Yahushua has already paid for our future kingdom in glory and restoration. He already paid for it by laying himself down for us. The next point, remember what he is currently doing. We are living in prophecy right now. Let's get Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. Just for time's sake, we're just going to go to this point, verse 10. Okay, so we are living in prophecy right now. Ezekiel chapter 37, verse 10, it says, "So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came unto them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet." Revelation 11:11, "in an exceeding great army. And he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, our bones are dried up and our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. This is a vision. This is a future prophecy. So this whole thing is about Jake. This whole thing is about Israel. This whole thing is about the elect. The non-elect is not getting this breath of life. They're still dry, dead up bones. They look like raisins. But those that's coming in this truth are coming alive. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Shemashai power, behold, O my people, I will open your graves, right? Because graves, what does it mean? You're supposed to rest. Revelations 11, the heathen had no mind of us in the graves. Basically, they didn't give us no rest. Limitations 5 and 5, our next is under persecution. We have no rest, and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. This is a place where we have no rest. The Lord is going to deliver us out of this place. And ye shall know that I am Yahweh when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Really a low estate. This is our hell. And shall put my spirit in you, Revelation 11:11, and ye shall live, and I shall place you in your own land. This is what we waiting for, to be placed in the land. Ephesians 1 verse 14 in the Amplified, it says the first installment of your inheritance is the Rakah Kodash. That was the first installment we got. That's a part of your inheritance. We got other things part of this inheritance we didn't get yet. Then shall ye know that Yahweh have spoken it and performed it, save Yahweh. One thing he already performed, the Rakah Kodash, is man standing up boldly in the midst of them that afflicted them, starting with the elites. That regular Edomite walking right now, he's on no level. This is speaking about the elites. These lower level Edomites is not, oh, Jake, when they get the truth. No, it's talking about the elites. What happened in Egypt? Oh, because we were multiplying. They were thinking if we would agree or be hand in hand with their enemies and make war with them because we became mighty in Egypt. It's the elites. It's the pharaohs that's looking. They're sorcerers, right? They're judges, right? They're bankers. Those that's pushing education and media, they're seeing us stand up in great boldness. They're starting to grow in fear. This is our first weapon. This is our first installment, right? Let's keep it moving. Hosea 1, 10 and 11. Let's get it. Let's get it. Hosea chapter 1, verse 10 and 11. What did it say? It says, yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea. You can't even count sand. One hand is not enough. It says, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God. What place are we at where we're said we're not the people of Yahweh Shema Shai? Babylon. Then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel, the southern and northern kingdom, be gathered together through the Spirit. The elect is being gathered. Not all, where brothers say, come on, gather yourselves together. All you camps, you don't want to come together. You damn right we don't. Because we don't want no confusion. We want to teach the whole volume of the Bible. And if we're not teaching the same thing, that's going to bring confusion. So we're really gathering the elect together and appoint themselves one head. That one head is Yahweh Shai, and they shall come up out of the land. We're already appointing Yahweh Shai as our head, because what name are you teaching in? Matthew, the 22nd chapter, said, bid them to the marriage. When you look up the word bid, it goes into call by name. We calling them, hey, Israel, right? The 12 tribes, and we're calling you to a name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We're bidding you to the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And while we doing that, we're pointing one head. You think, well, Yahweh, hey, this is the head. We're doing that now by teaching. For great shall be the day of Jezreel. We're waiting on it. Mark it. Put it on your calendar. It's coming soon. Let's get Matthew, the 24th chapter. What they say in church, they not with me today. I'm losing them. They not with me today. Hallelujah. And they're not even teaching nothing. You got to understand, this is so amazing. The Lord is revealing the understanding, man. Right? The Lord is allowing us to know his plan. This is the blueprint. We got the cheat code. This is not living. When you go outside, you got you a sport car. You really got you a SRT and you think you living? Go to China. A poor man in China is going to live way better than us over here. Well, where a snack at? Let me see. Is this it? This look a little too good. Let me see. Let me not post it because you know you run you. Oh no, this is good. This is good. This is peanuts. This is good. Got you. You get a snack, it's gonna have at least 35 ingredients on it. We not living in America, man. yo, that okay. Oh. Peanuts may contain tree nuts. It contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Monosodium. It say peanuts, peanut oil, sea salt, dextrose, dried chili peppers, yellow corn flour, monosodium, onion powder, spice, tomato powder, garlic powder, paprika, extract, color, spice, extractive, and contains peanuts. May contain tree nuts. Yeah, that's a fact, bro. You see that? No, you know. Hey, I know my brother, man. Like I said, man, I always see a reflection of myself in Yorunga. But as a fact, you just see how we just read that. Anything that you read in America, even if it's from Whole Foods, look how your oppressor is ruling over you, and look how he look at the food that he giving you, and then sit there and think about it. You think the elites is eating the same thing you eating? You think they drinking the same water you drinking, the same stepped on liquor you drinking? No. So this Matthew 24:14, man. Yeah, defiled, man. Matthew 24:14, it says, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come, right? And guess what? We're a witness to everything being said. We're out here teaching this word. And literally, just because it say all nations, it's only for the elect of Israel that's going to receive it. You know how many Jake that I taught that don't care about this word? They've been marked. But those that cleared, oh my, yeah, what's your YouTube channel? And they're always watching these videos, comment. It's this female rapper that get on my comment section and say, yo, Shalom, prophet, all pray, man, y'all, man, I'm dealing with things. I need these lessons. Every lesson this woman is commenting, Shalom, all praise Yahweh Shai, to double honors to the elder apostles, the men of great millstone, such and such. Those, we doing it for the elect that's being diligent. Somebody, they get on the video once a month, and then you'll see if they watching it. Now, I'm not watching any other brother. I only watch lessons once a week, once a month. You might not be the elect. The elect have a drive, right? You have to have a drive. When I get off of TikTok, I scroll down. People got a drive to go live. Like I seen a dude before I went to sleep playing Call of Duty. I woke up, he was still playing Call of Duty. They get a thrill off of this. Not one time did you call on the Lord. You ain't thinking shit. Esau got all of us in a bag, man. Got you all in a bag in a delusion, dumb estate, bro. I can't stand this place, man. So the point, we about to go to the next point, but let's finish this off. It says the fact that Israelites are returning to their identity, understanding prophecy, and separating from the world is evidence that Yahweh Shem Shai is actively working right now. Literally sit back and think, dang, we're separated from the world. We not doing certain things that we used to. Naturally, you might not be chilling with your family as much as you did. I don't hate my family, but I know certain things gonna come up, and I'm trying to spare them. I already told them, hey, this is the truth. They don't receive it. I'm not about to plague my mind seeing shit they doing and they don't want to hear it. So I'm gonna separate myself. I don't chill with my family at all. Now, sometimes I do. Sometimes I might see them. Hey, what's up? Pop, pop, pop. They not seeing me all the time. Half the time, they're not even seeing my babies all the time. I'm doing that to separate because it's something way more important. Teaching my kids every day what it is. And sometimes I'm teaching them by my actions. This is a cold freaking world, man. Got to work every day Even when I'm not at work, I'm doing a lesson. When I'm off, I'm doing lessons. All I do is work. My children hardly get to see me play and enjoy them. What it say? We are not going to even enjoy our children. That's how low we became. You just having children, you ain't going to enjoy them. You think you enjoying them, you're not enjoying them. Tell your kid to go outside when they got to come in the house when the street lights come on. You got to tell them, hey, don't talk to strangers. This is not living, man. You got pedophiles sitting back. Ooh, look at that. Look at that boy right there. Like the dude off of Family Guy. Or looking at your daughter. Ooh, look at her knees. Ooh, look at her. You got to tell your daughter to dress a certain way. I mean, of course, you should be dressing modest. But it's dangerous out here, man. Wife got to go to the grocery store. Man, what's up, man? You look good. She'll say, I got a husband. He'll be like, look, I could treat you better than him. We don't even care no more. Okay? The brother put Psalms 3, verse 4 and 5. It says, I cried unto Yahweh with my voice, and he heard me out of his holy hill, heavens, Salah. I laid me down and slept. I awaked, for Yahweh sustained me, man. Wait, hold on. Let me get some more off of that lamb. In the NLT, verse 5, it says, I lay down and slept, yet I woke up in safety, for Yahweh was watching over me, man. Do you believe he watching over you? Yo, when we go through certain things, like I was just saying about my skin, in the world, I would be mad because I always cared about my look, my image. But when certain things happen to me, I hurry up and say it was the Lord. Sometimes I'm working and then my back just go. I'm like, oh snap! I don't want nobody touching me. I gotta go. I gotta sit down on the ground because my back, like if I move, it just hurt even more. I would just think it's the Lord. I'm not getting checked out for these things because most of the time I be wanting it. I don't be feeling like I'm getting chastised. And we know in the scriptures, you know, those that getting chastised by the Lord, those are the ones that he loves. So for me, I'm always looking at certain things as a chastisement of the Lord to make me to give back to him. Everything the Lord did for you, are you giving back? Everybody worried about the charity, the poor, but are you giving back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai? The men of the Lord is the example of giving back because they got to lay themselves down. They got to feed his sheep daily. Are you giving back to the Lord? What did you do for the Lord? Do you got a plan to do something for him tomorrow? The next point, remember what he will do. The work is not finished. The greatest blessing haven't even begun. Redemption and the gathering. Let's get the classic. We almost done, y'all. Isaiah, the 11th chapter, verse 11 to 12. Yeah, that precept was deep because because of David going off, was asleep. Isaiah 11, verse 11. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh Shemashai shall set his hand again the second time to recover. Who's that hand? Yahweh Shai. You even see that arm in Isaiah 40. The second time to recover the remnant of his people. The remnant is those remaining in the truth, which is the elect, which shall be left from Assyria, from Egypt, from Pathros, from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea. Just basically showing you Jake is everywhere. And he shall set up a sign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Yo, Judah and Ephraim, we used to be in love with each other. Why you think, Jake, us in the southern kingdom, especially Judah, we be loving Ephraim? Hey, uno, dos, tres, o bendito. I mean, I know a little something. We be loving the Ephraimites because we were connected, and that's the head of the southern kingdom. But then you try to get you one to fight like, no, you got to get your own ways. They want them to stay in their own. But the more we get closer to this kingdom, the more all of us is going to be. Mexicans is going to love Dominicans because they are against each other. The love is about to come back, man. Oh man, I can feel it. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Nana, nana, boo, boo. We gonna be twine. What they say? What up, twin? We gonna be like this, man. Come on. Let's get this next point. Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, starting at 14. Yo, when I read these, I'll be like, man, I can't wait for it. But through the Spirit, we're already establishing it by teaching, gathering the elect of the southern and northern kingdom. Like, that feeling is amazing. Let alone to be a part of it by teaching his word, talking to man, it's amazing. Jeremiah 16, verse 14 to 15, it says, therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that it shall no more be said, Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. We're not going to talk about this no more in the kingdom. When this is finished, we ain't going to talk about this no more. What we going to talk about? But Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands whither he have driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. He's going to take the main deliverance is the north country, and from all the lands whither he have driven us. So Jake is going to be gathered four corners of the earth. Oh my goodness. You got to have that desire. Please. Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar, Baba Kashar. Let that be me. Let that be me. You know, your actions should show you want that. Like, I did a lesson. I said, yep, the North Country means America. I did a lesson on if you can't love the brother next to you, how can you say you love the one that's invisible? The way you love your brother on this side shows you love Yahweh Shai. Let's go back to Matthew, the 24th chapter. Again, the scriptures is a puzzle, man. Jeremiah was speaking about a future time. You got to think a lot of times the prophet was thinking it was about their time, but they were really speaking about the future. And a lot of things, we talking about Jeremiah, go into your mind and think, Jeremiah, that was all the way in ancient Babylon. He wasn't even close to coming to America yet. We talking about ancient Babylon, prophesying about this deliverance, the new covenant, and you getting all excited. You go into Acts the first chapter. They thought they was asking the Lord in verse 6, are you about to restore the kingdom of Israel? They thought that they were already in that last kingdom, the small horn, but they was in Rome. But this is why, like Apostle Tahar said, and even in Psalms 119, verse 99, 100, I know more than the ancients. The reason why we know more than Daniel, Ezra, John the Revelator, and all the other prophets is because we're living in this time. The things that they prophesied of the end time is our time. So we know from Genesis to 2nd Maccabees, Genesis to Revelation, we know more than them. Does that mean we better than them? No. Because we are our forefathers. They still us. Okay? Matthew 24:31. And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Yo, Jake, you in Alaska? He coming for you. Repent, believe, maintain your faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Continue to seek him. Rehearse the righteous acts to the best of your ability. Jake, you all the way in Africa thinking you in Ghana, but you know you an Israelite. Continue the faith. Continue to maintain your faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Rehearse the righteous acts. Jake scattered four corners of the earth. Continue, because he's coming. Right, Captain Tazariak, that was a message. Captain Tazariak said, I'm not waiting on Yahweh Shai. I'm doing all this work right here. I ain't waiting on him. We over here, we waiting. And how we wait is us being occupied in the work, right? The judgment to the nations, trying to make it quick. 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, going to verse 6 and 8. You got to notice, these are the things that the Lord is about to do, and we're blessed because you have the cheat code. He's telling you, when you in a car and somebody said, we about to go to a fun place, but I ain't going to tell you. And you've been driving for an hour. Are we there yet? You don't have to ask the Lord, are we there yet? Because he gave you the blueprint on what's going to happen. Okay? 2 Thessalonians chapter 1, verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you, and to you who are troubled rest with us, that Yahweh Shema Shai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not the Most High, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach. That's the ICBM missiles and laser beams coming from the chariots. Second Ezra, the 13th chapter, where it was talking about the temper, the fire blended together out his mouth. No, whatever Yahweh Shai say, the chariot is going to do, the angels are going to do. Yo, it's going to be a scary moment on the day of the Lord, man. Shalom to the brother Yahweh Shai Brakatah. Okay? Just for time's sake, of course, you got Isaiah 14, 1-3. Israel will rule over their oppressors. But let me get this Revelations, the 13th chapter, verse 9 and 10. If any man have an ear, you got two of them, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience in the faith of the saints. All nations had a hand in Israel's fall. All nations. So all nations is going to have to deal with captivity, especially Esau. All nations had a hand in, putting the sword on Israel. Guess what? They're going to have a sword on them. Let alone the elect men is a weapon itself. But here is the patience in the faith of the saints. We're being patient by being continuous. You're impatient when you stem away from this truth. Some people think because they watch one lesson, oh, I'm good, and then you going back to doing bullshit. So when you come in the truth, you're supposed to be changing, elevating. Yahweh Shai is the example, obedience. This man didn't have no woman because he focused on the ministry. Traveling to go teach the word. That's all you get to hear. You don't even get to hear the other accounts of Yahweh Shai, man, because the Lord was precise. He wanted to give you everything to edify you, to encourage you. We believe he was Adam. We believe that he was Isaac. We believe that he was Solomon. When he was Adam and Solomon, he failed because of a woman. But when he came as himself, he didn't have no woman. The woman was the church. Okay? You got to know on this side, what is your enemies doing? He's trying to oppress your mind to not know Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai or to know who you is. You have to be stern in knowing your power. As soon as you know your power, you can care less, bro. Literally, I can care less. This side can burn, die, and be thrown in the toilet with doo-doo. Literally. Yeah, his main focus was his people. That's why the true prophets of the Lord is that example. The brother put Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, verse 15-17. This is what it reads. It says, but the righteous live forever. Their reward is also with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and the care of them is with the Most High. This is why the elect mindset is not of the earth. Right? What he said in Philippians 3:20. This is a heavenly, our conversations is in heaven. It says, therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from Yahweh B'Shem Shai's hand. From Yahweh Shai, man, just imagine Yahweh Shai crowning you. Oh my goodness, man. Oh man, that's better than a fitted, man. What is you talking about, man? I'm about to have a crown, man. Man, Lord willing, above the hopeful elect, man. Lord willing, but man, Yahweh Shai crowning you. It said in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter, that he gonna be getting exalted while he putting a crown on you. That is amazing, bro. And we talk about he's literally one by one, 144,000. That's a lot. Putting a crown on each one of us. Oh man. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them. This is why the elect, they're going to overcome Jacob's trouble, man. The MOTB, the feminine word. That one brother that was on Yeremiah's live the other day, when Esau come out, I'm going to bump up against him. Yo, I'm telling you, the elect, they going to know when they supposed to do something. Let alone you going to be thinking it. Like the main power I've been thinking about for the past week is controlling metal. I think I might have to watch X-Men. I kept thinking about controlling metal, man. Literally out of nowhere. Let an Edomite say something. I'm gonna make a liquid form metal, and man, I'm telling you, the men of the Lord gonna be doing some things. Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. That's how we know where brothers' minds is at. Yesterday, me and the brothers were speaking about the kingdom. In my household, when I did a lesson with them, we were all speaking about the kingdom. The kingdom is on the elect's mind. Ask yourself, when's the last time you had a conversation about the kingdom? When's the last time you thought about the kingdom? Go ask yourself. Answer that question for yourself. When's the last time you spoke about the kingdom? Right? The glory of the coming kingdom. Daniel 7:18. We brought this out yesterday at camp. When's the last time you thought about the kingdom? What's the last time you thought about what do immortality look like? Come on, man. Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. These saints are Israelites. Psalms 51:5 or 50:5. The saints is those that made a covenant through sacrifice, only Israelites. In Psalms 148, verse 14, the saints are Israelites. Those are the ones that are going to take the kingdom, because what is kingdom? Kingdom mean kingship. And it's going to be a kingship under Yahushai, David, the 12, the 144,000, the government. And then you got the rest of Israel, which is really the rest of the elect. And we're going to possess the kingdom. The kingdom is everything you see and don't see. That's the difference. It's what you do see and don't see. We're going to be able to control elements. We're going to be able to seek land or hidden areas on the earth that haven't been found. Esau he's still searching and haven't found everything. He only been able to research 5% of the water. We're going to be explorers. The Simpsons had to do with a GMS on his eye while he was taking a shower. And the GMS stand for Galaxy Mystery Solvers. That's what I'm going to be. I'm solving the galaxy, the universes. I'm traveling everywhere. I'm going to be like what they call it. What's that? Galaxy Guardians. Wait, Guardian Galaxy or Galaxy Guardians? Is that what it's called? The Guardian Galaxy or the Galaxy Guardians? I forgot what it's called. I saw a video Yawasab posted earlier with that. If I'm going to show every Bible related lesson, our thoughts on the kingdom. Guardian of the Galaxy. Yes, that's what I'm about to be, man. Traveling, man. What? I'm trying to go down to have a whole conversation with the Leviathan. Are you kidding me? Jake, where's your mind at? You know, a woman is going to be like one of the smallest things, bro. On this side, we're so deprived, coochie deprived. You under a damn leash, what you can and can't do. You got Esau there. You got a woman telling you, I'm tutorial, you're mine. Girl, what? I could plant a seed in you. You can't plant shit in me. What is you talking about? But in the kingdom, a woman going to be this. Because it's going to be so much more. Even you women, you're not, lay with me. Hold it. It's not going to even be none of it. We're going to get back to the mindset of, I want to have a child. That's what women, man. If you didn't have a child, you felt like nothing. A woman, sex wasn't a woman's tool. That wasn't just it for you. You're going to be able to have servants, like your mindset. Oh my goodness, taking the kingdom, man. I want it, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I just get excited when I speak about, things in the kingdom. We actually literally at the finish of this notes. We're actually at the finish of these notes, man. This is Revelations, the 21st chapter. Starting at verse 1, it says, I saw a new heaven, which means a fresh, new rulership, a new earth, because the earth is going to be expanded. It's going to be in a whole new order. It's going to be new colors. It's going to be a whole bunch of new. First, for the first heaven, the first rulership, the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Right? Not speaking of a literal sea. And I saw the holy city. The holy city is speaking of the elect New Jerusalem, not like what is it called? What was it? Avenger Ultra, where the machine had that damn city the city in the air, and then he pressed the button and the city came down. That is symbolic to the Israelites. When coming, the ship is going to look like a city itself, the ship itself, but it's New Jerusalem is the people. I'm gonna be laying seed everywhere. Call me Johnny. Man, what is you talking, bro? Man, man, I'm like, you know, like a pomegranate. They gonna call me Mr. Pomegranate, because every time you eat a pomegranate is a seed. Go look at it. Go get a pomegranate and see when you bite it, it's seeds in each one. I'm gonna be Mr. Pomegranate. What you talking, yo, Ramya? Coming down from the Most High out of heaven, or the Elam Hayim out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice from heaven saying, behold, the tabernacles of the Most High is with men, because the Lord is dealing with men first. We're the tabernacle. You women are under us. You're part of our glory. And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them in their power, and be their power. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And it's talking about us, not the other nations. It's talking about us. Yes, I'm from Buffalo. I'm under Great Millstone. My head would be Zion and Yerumya, Yaramayan in my city. Right? So yeah, brothers is gonna have immortal bodies. Let's get this one to close this point, and then we'll finish off with the last point. Romans chapter 8, verse 18. Romans chapter 8, verse 18, and this is what it reads. So like it says, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Right? Anything on this side is not compared. I don't care. The fastest supercar is nowhere near compared of a chariot, and a chariot is a living being. A living being. You don't even know. Wherever I'm going in the kingdom, my chariot is there. Your chariot can go small, can go big. We talk about talking to animals and they responding to you. Your baby, you waking up and your baby playing with a damn cockatrice. Hey, Dad, look at me. You know, you can go to a whole nother planet and your children good. Your wife, your first, your third, your seventh, your wife good. Ain't no arguing, no. Oh, he haven't been with me too long, man. What? The kingdom is for us to take, man. What you talking about? So the kingdom is the fulfillment of Israel's blessing. It hasn't happened yet, so gratitude shouldn't diminish. It should increase because the greatest gifts are still ahead. Come on, man. Nobody knows what immortality is, man. You got Esau trying to make an immortality pill. It's still like, you got to think the rest haven't finished yet. Just imagine when the rest, like, look. Like I told brothers at camp, I said, imagine if this was a dream and we wake up and we in the Greek captivity. And this, we know about America already, but we in the Greek captivity. You got to really know how thankful you should be that you're in the last captivity right now. The last captivity, man, we are closer to seeing Yahushua, man. Truth been out here for 56 years. Christianity been out here longer. Yahushua haven't came because that's not the truth. Call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So, I got two more precepts, but I got some points I want to read. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna quote the other two, but I'm gonna read the one. So 1 Thessalonians 5:18 is going into basically giving thanks unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Colossians 3:15 is going into being thankful. But let's just get this just for time's sake, man. Psalms 103. And let me go to verse 1. Okay, so Psalms 103. It says, and this is a psalm of David, bless Yahweh, O my soul, and all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless Yahweh, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgiveth all thy iniquities, who healeth all thy diseases, who redeemeth thy life from destruction, who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercy, who satisfieth thy mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. You got to add this in. You got to add that in your prayer, man. Even when you go to the book of the prayer of Azariah, when you start at what verse? This is a good prayer, even though it's long. This is a good prayer to go into. Starting at verse 29, where they're exalting Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai above all forever. They're speaking about the water, the animals. This is from 29 to 68. They're praying to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and giving praise to him. You know, everything is going to be in order when Yahweh shall return, man. Our animals not going to be locked up, like Akon said. They're not going to be locked up. Our women is going to be fully wearing their natural hair and not saying, oh, it takes too long, man. What? Women going to have their hair down their back, looking beautiful. Man, ain't no overweight. Now, our women going to be so cold. The coldest woman on this side is not even compared, man. I'm telling you, they're going to be so gorgeous. The men, we going to be mighty. I'm supposed to be 7. I'm supposed to be 7 foot. I ain't going to lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Brothers are going to be in their real stature. I'm already baby diesel, but I'm about to be ripped. Brothers going to be healthy. Ain't no brothers going to have high blood pressure. You got to understand what the Lord is set up for us. And if you seeing these in prophecies, in visions and dreams of what the end is, that means it's already done. Because how can you see something that haven't been done? Because in the Lord's eyes, because all of this in the mind, it's already done. It's already done. You in the hands of the Lord if you are the elect. And if you are the 2/3, you still in the hands of the Lord to be consumed, man. Man, I'm getting it, man. So look, why should Israel reflect and be thankful? Gratefulness strengthens faith. Gratitude protects from complaining and major sin in the wilderness. Reflection builds confidence in prophecy. Thankfulness keeps us humble. Grateful Israelites endure unto the end. So Israel, you should be counting your blessings. Israel is blessed because of what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has done. Israel is blessed because what he is doing. Israel, or the Israelites, is blessed because the story is not yet finished. We stand between past deliverance and future glory. And Yahushai is the guarantee. Salaki, Yahushai is the guarantee that everything written will come to pass. When he said on the cross, it is finished, it will be finished when he returns. So, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has showed the Israelites mercy from Egypt to now. Yahushai is the greatest blessing ever given to Israel. The awakening proves Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is still working. The kingdom is coming. The greatest blessings are ahead. The Israelites must stay grateful, reflective, and confident, and vigilant, and sure. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson, straight to the point. Lord willing, you could sit back and actually reflect on what the Lord has done and reflect on the things that he's going to do. Desire the kingdom, desire the kingdom. Let's give all praises to the one true power that always does it. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles who rule well and teach well. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered 4 corners of the earth, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, that y'all all continue in the same spirit and the sound doctrine. Shalom to the Akwab, which is the sisters of this faith and this truth. Lord willing, you continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. Lord willing, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not the faith. So for those that was watching, Lord willing, you were edified. Lord willing, you can take these things and be grateful for what he has done. And Lord willing, that gratefulness you have is going to push you to strive, to learn more, to know more. And Lord willing, you have a dream. If you don't have a dream, Lord willing, you can imagine the kingdom. So with that, shalom, shalom, abba, shalom.